Hey everybody, it's video time. I'm excited. I got something fun to show you today. I saw these on my Stampin' Connection the other day, the demonstrator only website at Stampin' Up, and I thought I want to make some of these. So I want to show you how I did these. I just kind of got carried away and I thought of several ideas that we could do when we use these. Here's something bigger, but let me show you something here. This one I put on a gift bag. Isn't that cute? And it's double-sided, so you can see the dimension. And then I put it on with some of the gumball green sweater trim. Just put it on my bag. And then on this one, I just put them one-sided, and I just attached them to my bag. And here I have some of the Cherry Cobbler 3.5-inch tool, which I love. So wouldn't you just love to get a little gift like that? And this can be used as an ornament too. So, but not only that, but I thought, why couldn't you put it and make it a wine bottle tag? So this is double-sided, so it can be used as an ornament when it's all done. And I just tied it on with linen thread and with some of the old olive scallop dotted ribbon. So I want to show you how to make these. They're pretty easy. I made a bunch of them when I was sitting in front of the TV the other day. And what I did, this one right here, I started out with 4x4 pieces of paper. You use two 4x4 pieces of paper, and these are the same on both sides. This is 4x4 as well as the one that was on the wine bottle. And I'll have pictures that I'll show you later. This one, I used a 6x6 piece of some retired designer series paper, but you can see this is much bigger. These would look pretty on your tree. If you had a huge tree, these would really show up nicely. And then I even got crazy and I thought, well, what would it be like with a 12x12? So can you see that monster? This thing, these would make so great decorations, like if you were decorating a hall for maybe a wedding or a baby shower or something like that. But these would, you could hang these up, and these would, or even make them flat and put them on the table for a table decoration. So I'll show you how I did all these. Now you can make these, you can start out and do 12x12, 8x8, 6x6, 4x4. The key is you want to do a square. So I wouldn't do anything smaller than a 4x4, though, I don't think. But today I want to show you on 6x6 paper. And I would highly recommend making your first one on just a piece of copy paper, and then you'll get the gist of it, because it's really easy. I guess it's kind of like origami, but I've got some visuals here for you. I want you to see the first thing you're going to do when you start with this is you're going to fold your paper, whatever size it is, 12x12, 8x8, 6x6, 4x4. You're going to fold it in half diagonally. Okay? Then, once you get that folded, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to fold this one in half. You're going to fold it in half that way. And I want you to use your Stampin' Up! Bone folder, or whatever bone folder you have, to get a nice crisp crease on there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go in and you're going to start cutting. And I'll have a picture on my blog, sherrystampinroom.blogspot.com, of this, so that you'll have a visual and you'll know how to do it. But once you fold it in half diagonally, then you're going to fold that one in half, and when you have this, then what you're going to do, and I didn't measure anything, I just cut, but you're going to cut this up, probably, I don't know, about a third of the way. You're going to have a third, you're going to cut up, you're going to cut up about 2/3 of the way. Okay, that's going to be your first cut. Then you're going to start on this side here, and you're not going to cut it right at the tip. You're going to leave a little bit so that you've got, see how that's together right there? You don't want to cut right to the edge, or you're going to lose that and you're going to have to fudge it and glue it together. But that could be fixed, so don't stress about that. So you're going to cut this, you're going to come over here, go up, I don't know, 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch, depending on what size paper you start with, and you're going to cut it all the way up. Next one, the second cut, you're going to cut it all the way up. You're going to go up a little further, and then your fourth one. Okay. Then when you cut this piece here, you're going to have a little excess, and you can use that for your guide. So if you say you cut it out this way, then you can just flip it over and use it for your guide. Of course, that's the wrong size, but anyway, so then you're going to cut, you're going to leave a little bit right there, Okay, cut, cut, cut. And this is what it will look like. This is my little copy paper one. And you can see there's, you know, nothing to it. And I left about 1/4 of an inch all the way, you know, on all of my cuts. You can see that there. Then, let me go ahead and make one here, and we'll kind of give you more of an idea here. So, okay, what you're going to do, you're going to take your paper, you're going to fold it in half. Okay, and I'm not going to measure, do nothing, I'm just eyeballing. It's not rocket science. Okay, so then I have it in half. Okay, then I'm going to fold that one in half again. And this was a 6x6 piece. Did I already say that? Okay, see how easy that was? You get your part right there. Then I'm going to take my Cadillac scissors. I got these free on Great Rewards. These are the large craft scissors. So you can see I'm going to just cut straight up about 2/3 of the way. I cut right to there. Okay, now what I'm going to do is kind of hold that, and I'm going to leave my little bit there, and I'm going to just wing it. Just make a big old curve right there. Okay, now there's one that I can use for my template on the other side. Okay, then you're going to go up here and up just a little bit past my point right there. Okay, hold it together. See where I'm cutting? And these don't really have to be completely exact, but the thing is, you don't want to cut all the way. You want to leave about 1/4 of an inch there. Okay, then if you want to, you can take one of those pieces and put over there and use that for a guide. So let's see, I want to leave a little bit. Cut that off. But you want to save these because we're going to need them for something here. We're going to use those to do the center. Okay, then you're just going to finish cutting about 1/4 of an inch. Go up. Another one about 1/4 of an inch. You're going to curve as you cut, you can see. Okay, now it's time for magic. So you're going to open it up. Okay, maybe. Okay, you're going to open it up. Press that down a little bit, and here we go. Look at that. There you go, and you fold that down a little bit, just like that. So what you do now is I took a little bit of Tombow, and if you want to, you can take a marker and mark your center, because you can see where you're going to have a little bit of a guide anyway, because you follow those fold lines there. Okay, so what I do is I put some of my trusty Tombow glue right in the center. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is you take the center one. So you have this, and this is the center one. So you're going to have two down and one that's going to go up. And what I did was just kind of took it and tapped it into some of that glue. But what you could do too is just take the ones that you know you're going to use and put just a little bit of glue on each tip. Okay, so you're going to fold them down, hold it, fold this one down, hold that. This stuff, the Tombow dries relatively fast, so it does not take long to make these at all. And like I said, I did a bunch of the little 4x4s in front of the TV. So anyway, there we go. Just make sure that center is down there, and that's pretty much it. And you're going to do 2 of these, and you're going to use the same color. Okay, now what I did is I took one of these and I punched out with my, I think on that one I used the 3/4 inch, and I just punched out a circle. You can see the one, this is what we're making right here. So punched out a circle, and I went ahead and added one of our rhinestones to it before I glued it down. Okay, and I just picked it up with my paper piercer, I love that, and set it on there. Okay, then you can put a little more Tombow on there. Press that down right in the center. Hold it down for a second. there you have it, just that quick and easy. Isn't that awesome? So then what you're going to do is you're going to have your other one cut. You can see this one. You've got two of these that are the same. And then you're just going to use that as your backing. So let me do one more. I think I might have more time on this video. So very fast. Fold it in half. Make your triangle. Where's my bone folder? Right there. And that's not very straight, but like I said, it's not really going to matter. Okay, then I'm going to cut this up into there almost. I cut about 2/3 of it off. Straighten it out a little bit. There's one side. There's my other side. And this is all trash. I don't need that. Okay, now you go in and you don't cut all the way, about 1/4 of an inch, and just curve it around. 1/4 of an inch, curve it around. Don't go all the way up here. You see that? And over here, I'm going to do about 1/4 of an inch. All the way up. Well, not all the way, but okay. Now you can see when I open this one up, you've got this inside. But we want to make two that look like this. Because when you put them together, then this side is going to be showing. So we're going to work on this side. Take my glue, dab it in there, dab the tip in there, dab the tip in there, hold it down, a little bit more glue, my other tip. I think I better put a little glue on this. Hold it down. There we have that. Time for another circle punch. 3/4 inch circle punch. There we go. Okay, take your rhinestone with the paper piercer onto the circle. Little glue in the center, hold it down, and then what I like to do is I took a couple of the dimensionals in the center, so you can see when you put these together you're just going to kind of separate them, but we started out with two of the same. So remember how I told you to do your dimensionals? You put your fingernails in and then you take the top part off. You put your fingernail in, take the top part off. Okay. And then just press it together and there you go. Now you can hang this on anything, ornament, whatever. You can see it's dimensional, but that's how you make them. I don't know what they're called. They're just origami ornament. But remember, you can put them on your wine bottle, which I think I'm going to gift myself and drink right now. Go to my blog, and you'll see more pictures about this project. You'll also be able to go to my web store, and you'll be able to order these items. This paper here is our new Christmas line from the Holiday Mini. And these are just retired. Whenever I make something new and different, I use my retired paper that I get on the clearance rack, and then I don't feel so bad if I screw up. But remember too, it's a good idea to start something with your copy paper too, so you'll have an idea of what you're doing before you totally mess up your paper. So don't forget to go to my website, and I'll also have the visual for you for the how to actually cut it and fold it and everything. So I wanted to show you one other thing on the center of this big one. What I did was I took some of the vintage faceted buttons and put in the center with one of our giant with one of our giant pearls, which I love, and they fit just perfect in there. So anyway, have fun with it. Bye-bye.